Alright guys, Hatchcoming again today. Hope you're doing well and enjoying your day so far. With big gentleman's agreement drama going down over the last few days, Kenny and Dashy have made their thoughts very clear on their frustration with the way that Ghosty approached things after the Simp drama in that series against the Ravens during Minor 1. They believe that Ghosty was impression farming, just trying to be the good guy in the scene, pretty cringe. They think his actions were, Kenny says he's pretty weird for doing this, and then of course went on to win K-Sun's inaugural 8s tournament with Ghosty just a few hours ago. Very much intrigued to your perspective on this in the comments below, because a bit of drama kicking off here again between OpTic and Thieves before the matchups begin this weekend. Very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comments. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you're new as always. I would greatly appreciate it. First of all, we're going to talk about some of the stuff going on in challenges right now because, of course, we've been concerned, I've certainly been concerned, about talent coming up in challenges, who are going to be the next players. There's a feeling that whoever is maybe next up in the CDL, it might just be players that we've seen before, right? I mean, the players that are considered maybe to be on the verge of getting back into the league. We're talking the likes of Illy, or, you know, we'll discuss Illy more in a couple of seconds time, what he's called, what he may continue to be called. Neptune, you know, Johnny was frying at the start of the Challenger season. Even Fellow, I don't think, is a million miles away just because of his, you know, veteran nature if a team needs a player like that. But to be fair, there are some players that have proved their worth lately, and we're certainly seeing that from the Stallions. So as Shift says, this Stallions roster going 5-0 on their first elite is unprecedented. The closest thing we've ever had is the FaZe back team in BO4 before they came 18. Unreal showing all 4 deserved league spots. Now, this is always tough to justify. I mean, you can justify a number of players deserving league spots. I think the truth is that Encourage is an excellent player, maybe one of the best ARs, if not the best AR in challenges looking at the moment. Then you've got Lurks as well, who's been very good for the roster too. So there's a couple of players here. This was even a clip the other day from Parasite's stream where Dashy was in the background saying that as far as he's concerned, Encourage is like that guy. He's really nice. He's going to be a world champion in a couple of years. Like, that's serious gas. And I thought it was kind of cool to hear that, especially when we've talked about, you know, Encourage and I think with Derek the GOAT and Lurks and a couple of other players over the last couple of years. And there's kind of been a thought as, okay, these are the guys, in addition to maybe a couple of talents in Europe as well, that hopefully are going to be able to lead up the next generation of players. But whether they'll make it as pros is still difficult to say. But yeah, Encourage says only a matter of time. Dashy has given him some good gas. I'll share that clip in a couple of minutes. A little bit more talk about Illy as well. I know that some people are bringing up the Upper Deck cards that were made a couple of years ago. And here's Illy's card. Like, does it exist anymore? Does it count anymore? Whatever. We obviously saw him say 20k likes. It goes back to Illy. That hit the mark. I did see today that the accounts that Illy used to have, so his former @ has now been suspended. Now, this I thought was interesting. So Illy, of course, retired this, you know, Twitter handle. He went over to Yoda King, which is what he still is to this day. But the accounts that therefore replaced him, so as soon as Illy was gone, somebody took the Twitter handle, right, and was like, no, I'm not actually Illy, and, you know, basically the intention, I guess, would be if you want the app back, you got to pay me for it. I guess that's kind of the idea. This account's now been suspended. So it makes me wonder whether either somebody reported it or something, or whether Illy spoke to someone and was like, hey, this account is impersonating me or something, and it's breaking the rules, and I want to get the account app back, and can you deal with it or something? So I don't really know if that's what's happening or why this would have happened exactly. There could be other reasons it got suspended, but in my head I'm thinking, did Illy put a word in to say, all right, I actually want the app back, I'm going to go back to Illy, and therefore things are changing behind the scenes. I don't know, intrigued to your thoughts. What I do want to dive into though is this. So the Sib drama last weekend, thought this was pretty good from Cloud9 as a result of that. Sib was snaking the Lambo hard on Hassy, and everybody knows it. Now, shortly after that series, actually just after FaZe defeated Thieves later in the day, Ghosty, of course, tweeted this out. And this was controversial at the time, to be fair. I didn't really see too much issue with it from a fan perspective. Of course, I think from the community point of view, this was interesting to hear. But OpTic, and maybe the other teams as well, were not very happy about how Ghosty had decided to handle this. And certainly Kenny and, well, Shotzzy and Dashy giving their take on the state of GAs, what should happen in the future, and also why they deemed this to be semi-problematic.
I've only scouted 2 people in my life, basically. Well, I say 1.5 just because, like, it's like I didn't really scout this other guy. I just thought he was raw, and I just know he's going to run shit in a couple of years.
Oh.
I know you guys were waiting for that, so I was waiting for I mean, Dan was like the first one, and then the other one, I'm telling you, Encourage in like 3-4 years, he's gonna win champs when I'm retired, or 5 years.
3-4 years, you think he's gonna win champs?
Actually, not 3-4 years. I lied. Maybe not 3-4.
Well, you say Dan?
Yeah, bro. What?
But there was teams down instantly though for the no week. The no week.
Yeah, down.
Yeah, but I'm
Bro,
like,
Dan Ghosty just put it on Twitter.
that's what I'm saying.
He's
That-
like,
okay,
oh,
that was-
them, out.
I ain't
worried-
gonna lie. That kind of like I wanted to leave the chat for that one. I
Bro,
ain't
that
gonna
was insane. Like, bro, like obviously, like I agree, like, or no, I don't agree actually, but like I get the side of like, I guess having the community involved, so like it would hold the teams accountable. But this is like a situation where like it could be this could be handled without going to fucking Twitter and this is engagement farming,
I
man.
keep it sad. This is weird. Yeah, this is super.
This is
yeah.
like you're like trying to be that guy for the community, and it's kind of like it's pretty cringe. I
I don't
can't
know.
lie.
I said it before. I swear to God, I feel like people be doing this shit for the clout.
Yeah, 100%. This is 100%.
Like,
That's exactly what he's
that's
doing.
what I'm
Like,
saying. Like this was just unnecessary. Like what?
because this would have got solved without this shit, bro. But you just wanted to be that dude, and everybody's like, oh, W, whoa,
Bro, this was right after their match too.
The people just want to be
This
like,
was right after they lost their match. Keep this in mind. They just lost
not
their
even,
match.
and he didn't even play him. He didn't even play him, bro.
I'm saying LAT just lost.
Yeah, but they didn't even play.
Oh, yeah, no.
But it's not like Dante was snaking him. Like you watching it, like, oh, what the fuck?
I think this was OD. I'm not gonna lie, but it is what it is. I mean,
I thought this was definitely like this was just definitely done with the intention of like just looking like Superman. Woosty,
so
woosty.
it
This
seems
is the
like-
woosty type of tweet.
Nah, it seems like I feel like that's kind of what I feel like Dante doing it was kind of just like the repercussions is not nowhere as bad as like you might as well just fucking do it.
You might as well get it done once.
No one's gonna do shit, literally.
No, but
it
yeah.
kind of proves his point. literally.
Yeah, no cap. I also do think Dante.
but
did
that's
it.
what I'm saying. Do y'all agree that the no week scrims is cool?
In my opinion, yes.
Because I'm
low-key.
pretty sure going forward it's gonna be that like no week scrims.
You can't
Yeah,
just,
yeah.
bro. I feel like you can't just freestyle like some like for example like bro, it's 1 week this year, but last year.
Okay,
it's-
but that's what I said. I kind of brought it up because they were saying like, oh, we should keep consistent last year. But I was like, realistically, I feel like this offense should have been like way more taken more seriously because he already did it. Like it was already brought up.
Yeah.
But like, if y'all want to keep consistent, then this one since this was the first time it's ever happened this year, and nobody really brought up like GAs or like snaking or anything like that. Like, so since this was the first offense without like no set rules, I was like, I guess it's fine to have 1 day of scrims, but I think going forward it should be a week. So
Yeah.
then like
No,
there's
I agree.
actually like a
100%.
reason to not do it. Like like you said, if you're pushing
Yeah.
the limits of it and like.
yeah, like you should
We don't
feel
give a fuck
like
about 1 day.
you should have it in the back of your mind, like, whoa,
Literally,
this could
no-
fuck our team basically
no
for
one's
this year.
over
Like,
it,
okay.
So the OpTic guy saying Ghosty's pretty weird for this, the way that he approached it, trying to be the hero or whatever, right? Trying to, make sure that the community can see what's going on, but obviously airing out maybe business behind the scenes that he shouldn't be for impressions. That's the implication. Is that fair? I don't know. I'm not going to complain. I thought it was interesting, but I do get what they mean, right? So Ghosty, after losing the series, comes out and says that I've started the vote because, yeah, I guess the way that he phrases it, right? It's not like, oh, the vote has been started for this is what's happening, because, Ghosty, it does seem like he's on a bit of a witch hunt against Sib, right? And also, the only result of this for Ghosty's side is for the community, certainly because people are annoyed about Sib snaking, and fair enough, like, absolutely. But the only conclusion from this is that Sib's going to get more hate, pretty much, and that Ghosty's going to get praise for solving the problem, which, I guess is fine. But also you've got to realise that's maybe what was going on here, right? Ghosty doing a tweet with the intention that, the community's going to love me for this, right? Like, I started the votes, like, I'm dealing with the problem type thing. And then, of course, even the fact that he was kind of airing out, like, who had voted and who hadn't voted, which it's not like it really matters. And as Dashy says, the community holding the pros accountable on this is probably a good idea. But still, I'm sure that some of the other teams weren't very happy to see that 6 of the 11 teams had agreed, so obviously Cloud9 don't get a vote in this, so you can work out from who he said they were waiting on to decide what was happening, right? You can figure out which teams voted for it, and then these guys had not voted for it yet, but even just the way that he tweets this implies that, he wants them to vote in favour of the 1 week blacklist, because 6 out of 11 have agreed, so we're waiting on these guys, and with the thumbs up emojis, it kind of sounds to me that Ghosty's saying, well, 6 teams have agreed, crack on guys, let's get them banned type thing, which didn't maybe help the situation on some level. Now, the reaction here was controversial, and again, the pros needed to do, and should have done, frankly, a better job at organising this, as always. I mean, you can say that every single year, but what Kenny was saying is true, that nobody had really discussed what happens in terms of punishment. So one offence happens, and they've got to decide the punishment. I'm sure Lamar was in the chats giving his perspective, and eventually it was a 1-day ban. But Kenny is pretty adamant that in future it should be at least a 1-week ban, first offence, or whatever offence, because it means, as Dashy says, the punishment needs to be greater than the crime. That's always the way that I look at it. If there's, and obviously the pros have to figure out the punishment of the crimes, or whatever you want to describe it as, themselves, because they're the ones making these rules up. The CDL aren't going to enforce them themselves. But I think you want to ensure that it deters doing it, because if you're a player and you're thinking, well, if I just snake this heady and get this kill, are we going to be punished for it? Are we not? Will we get away with it? Will we lose one warm-up scrim? Is anyone even going to know, because maybe I'm not even on the broadcast right now, maybe the observers are watching somebody else. Like, if the pros are having these questions, it's kind of not where you want to be. Ideally, you want to be in a position where, as Dashy says, the players are thinking, I better not snake this because it's going to screw my team. So I think the conclusion here the pros have taken is probably the correct one, but I definitely thought the perspective from OpTic on the Ghosty, Sib drama situation was interesting, and kind of maybe their perception of Ghosty, because we know that Ghosty and Dashy did not maybe, they weren't the best of friends when they were on OpTic together a couple of years ago. Of course, Ghosty came in, and look, Ghosty was a talented player for sure, but we're pretty sure that they didn't necessarily always see eye to eye on certain things. There was, even to be fair, like Shotzzy said the same thing. It wasn't exactly just a Dashy thing, but there was talk about their relationship and the fact that Ghosty, as good as he was, staying on OpTic if Dashy was going to be there just wasn't realistically going to be happening. Just a personality clash, I think, was what was happening at the end of the day. And people change over time, but it did feel like Ghosty was a player who wouldn't necessarily in that season be the easiest to team with. That was the general feeling from the way that the personalities were meshing behind the scenes. So all of these things, come together, don't they? Ghosty tweets something the OpTic guys don't like, they're going to call him out on it. What's going to happen next? I do not have the answer for you, but tweet your thoughts in the comments below. Tomorrow, the matches are back underway. Just wanted to quickly look at the games that actually are underway, because this weekend's, we do have what could well be the big one. I'm going to mention, of course, the Friday games tomorrow, but on the Sunday, OpTic play Thieves. So this is going to be a banger for the season so far. Sunday, middle of the day, Texas versus Los Angeles Thieves. That's Ghosty versus Dashy. That's Ghosty versus Kenny. And I most certainly will be there to talk about it. So very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comments. Hit the like button if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new. Take care. And I'll see you next time.
Should have taught Seth S&D. Nah, no bullshit. Seth was like decent at S&D before we teamed with him, and then I swear me and Tej joined the team, and then ever since then, from like BO4, Cold War, even Vanguard, the motherfucker was demonic. The one thing about Seth I'll always tip is that motherfucker never lost his wands. Never lost his wands. And I swear to God, sometimes he's just straight aura diffing. Like he's scump. Like, you know what I mean? Like there was one 1v1 I'll never forget. It was on a raid. I think it was against Ultra. Y'all remember when he hopped up top ring, just zapped the guy top laundry? But I remember thinking like, bro, this guy's shitting himself in the 1v1. Like, it is straight aura playing. Like, there's no bullshit in that. The reason why he's demonic in his ones, though, is because for a lot of 1v1s, I mean, the gunny does play a big factor. So if Seth does get caught off guard, like, his reaction time is second to none also. Like, the other guy's like, I mean, he might have been 30, saying he was getting older, but the motherfucker reacted like a fucking, I don't even fucking know what reacts quick. But y'all could cook with that. And he also had insane gunny. And I feel like he also kept it simple, which is like, he just knew like, bro, once I see this guy, he's getting peeled. But that dude was demonic in his clutches. Bullshit. Definitely got way better though, like when we joined, and then like he just started learning off of, who was teaching him search before that? Like their team was Ian, Damon, and Matt. Matt is just like, I'm just chowing. Kremp is also just chowing. Damon is down to do shit, but like they're giving that motherfucker the rock. But then he started playing with Terry, Dylan, and different perspectives, bro. Because he heard just teach saying, I'm gonna hit shit. Just hit shit.